Alright guys, today we're going to check out, shoot, and review this Sig Sauer P320. It's the M18, so it's slightly compact model over the M17, which is the full size. This gun's on loan to me today by my buddy John. Not John at Boomstick Revenge, but another John. Really appreciate him loaning this for the review today. A few years back, I shot the M17, the full-size version, and I honestly didn't really care for it that much. The one main thing I didn't like was that it was really like floppy every time it'd shoot, so it'd take a while to settle down before you could get back on target, unlike, say, a Glock. You know, I like all guns, so I'm not being a Glock fanboy here, but like a Glock, for example, after you fire, it comes back on target real quick, whereas the M17 was real floppy. So my idea is, I've learned over the years I prefer compacts, because the full-size guns are more floppy because they're longer and they're more nose heavy, so there's more weight on the front end to wobble up and down after each shot. I prefer the sharp, quick recoil impulse of the compacts for that reason. So I'm thinking I'm going to like the M18 a lot better for that reason. I'm going to take this light off of here. That way there's no unfair advantage there, or disadvantage rather, because it's adding weight back to the front end. And the other thing I didn't like, which is still the same on this, I mean, it's not terrible, but I don't particularly care for the rear sights. What I don't like about it is how it's the entire width of the slide. I wish it was just this thing sticking up here in the center. I don't like, I guess, the ears on the side, if that would ever focus. Trying to get this to focus. Anyways, that just, I don't like those ears on the side. I guess it kind of like blocks out a lot of the target and a lot of what I want to see. So I don't particularly like that either, but my main gripe about the M17 was, again, that it was so floppy. And so I think I'm going to do a lot better with the M18 here. I also had a Sig P320 an x-vtac, which was a full size, and I absolutely loved that gun. It was still a little floppy, but it was a lot better. But I think a big part of that was because it had oh, whatever you call it, the cutout here was like a lot higher up, so you could get your hand higher up. That way your center of gravity was lower and all that. Plus that thing was, you know, tack driver, had an awesome trigger and all that. I'll put a link in the description to the review videos of the original M17 when I reviewed it a while back. And then also throw up the review video of that x-vtac I was talking about. But I'm excited to try the M18 today, because I think I'm going to like it a lot more than the M17. So we'll get loaded up here with this Max Tech 115 grain and get started here in just a second. But I want to give you kind of an all over. This one does have the manual safety. I don't particularly care for that on this. I usually don't mind them, but with how far that guy sticks out there, when I reach up to try and hit the slide release, which I'm one of the type of people that like to use that to release the slide, at least 50% of the time, I can still hit it, but like my thumb's catching on that right there, and it's rather uncomfortable. So it is what it is. But there's wood from the side. Obviously the muzzle's dirty because she's well loved and gets used. And I kind of already got you guys a sight picture there, but that's what you're looking at there for sights. Those targets back there, 15 yards, if I can ever get this to focus. So it's about what you're looking at there. And we got the 17 round flush fit there, and two 21 rounds here. And even with the 17, I can get a full grip, no problem. And these factory mags, they got the witness holes on the back, so you can see how many you got in it. And these were extremely easy to load, so I really like that about these mags. And it's a really new gun. I think he's only put like a box or two of ammo through it, so it's not that it's like well worn in or anything like that. They're just super easy to load. Alright, we'll start out on the paper target down there. I'm going to go for this bottom dot there. You can see it's just scratched up, but there's no holes. I'll be standing about 7 yards off to the right side here. First shot to see where our point of impact is, so I know where to aim on these targets. Alright, good. She is dead zeroed. You can see some of those went a little low, so I was just holding 6 o'clock on that little red dot. and they're going basically right where the front circle on that front sight is. So it's got a center, maybe even a cover hold there. So that's where they're impacting for me. All right, I'll go walk out there, have some fun, and from where I was standing, the back row will be about 10 yards to those bowling pins. Oh, I can't stop laughing. Yeah, that's pretty good. I like it. I run her real good there, and I grabbed the 21 round mag there, but I forgot that one of them was partial, and I accidentally grabbed the partial there. I was like, what? How the heck am I out already? So while I'm back here, I'll put the other 21 round mag in here that does have 21 in it. See if I can hit these back here. That's 15 yards to that back row. So those are kind of headshots back there, 15 yards. And yeah, that's no problem back here at 15 yards either. I'm gonna go set all these back up and I'll knock them all down from back here. All right, let's go left to right here. Remember that back row is 15 yards. Sorry, I'm having too much fun going a little too fast back here. I'm gonna try that again though, see how fast I can. You guys can hear me over the other gunshots. I'm gonna see how fast I can go from back here again like that. I might miss a few because I'm pushing hard. I mean, those are rapid headshots back there at 15 yards. Yeah, I mean, I barely missed a couple times, but... Alright, I'm going to go slow and steady here, though. See if I can get all these in a row without missing 15 yards. And usually I start left and right, so I'm going to mix it up and go right to left, which is going to make it a little more difficult for me, because that's opposite of what I'm used to. I know it doesn't really make sense, but I'm going to mix it up because I need to anyways. That way I don't get used to going left to right only. Alright, well clearly that was a hit and it just didn't fall down. Alright, got a little sloppy there, but you get the picture. You can do 15-yard headshots, no problem, every time. Alright, so yeah, for me personally, that thing is 100 times better than the M17. Like I said, I prefer compacts because I like the recoil impulse better. Some people will think or say that they recoil more, it's more sharp and snappy, but I prefer that recoil impulse because for me, And the quick, sharp snap allows me to get back on target much faster than a full size that's got a longer, heavier, and for me, floppier front end there after every shot. So I'm in love with this thing, honestly. Like I said, I'm not a big fan of the sights. So I would probably prefer to change the sights. These are nice sights though, so you know, if you wanted nice sights, you probably wouldn't want to change them out. I was going to say the factory sights, just a standard 3 white dot sights. I mean, they look just like that, but they just got 3 big white dots instead. But why does the range get busy every time I try to record? Anyways, your sights are going to look the same whether you got the night sights like this or the 3 white dots. So sorry, but this is really frustrating trying to record while other people are shooting. I hope you guys find it funny, and I actually sincerely mean that, but sometimes it takes like 2 or 3 hours just to film a quick 10-minute pistol review video, because I'm trying to do it in between all the shots, as you can see. And I don't know why, it never seems to fail. This is no joke. I will show up, it does not matter what time I show up, and then shortly after I set up and get started, somebody will pull in and start shooting right next to me. And then by the time I'm done recording, then everyone packs up and leaves. Never fails, every single time. Of course, that's what the range is for, and I'm glad they're out there enjoying their freedom, but damn if it doesn't make it hard to record. Anyway, ran over. There's your annual quarterly day in the life update from me. Sorry for the delay. Now back to your regularly scheduled program. Not the biggest fan of the factory sights, but you know, it didn't really seem to be an issue, so I don't think there's any problem there, honestly. I'm just drooling thinking how much better I could do with a pair of sights on there I really like. But overall, I'm really impressed, and I'm really liking this thing. It's like a completely different gun compared to the M17, at least in my hands. So yeah, I love it. And I didn't really get the trigger, and I didn't even pay any attention to the trigger. Usually before I start shooting, or some way halfway between, I'll show you guys the trigger. And it was like towards the end of the video, I didn't even realize. I was like, wait, I didn't even pay no attention to the trigger. So it must have a pretty decent trigger as well then, because you know, I wasn't like complaining about it or nothing. It didn't affect my shooting. So there's your take up there. We are empty. I'll pull through. A little bit of play before the break, but not too bad. And a short pull overall. Let me get the reset here. All right, then on the reset, right there, weight seems to be about mid to low 5-pound range, and I would venture as far as saying that's definitely a better trigger than the Glock. It just has less creep and a lot shorter overall pull and reset. It's decently smooth as well. Anyways, guys, that's the review on the M18 there. Love it. No complaints other than I'm not a huge fan of those sights, but again, didn't really affect us out here. I'm able to make 15-yard headshots no problem. Like the trigger, like the ergonomics, the balance, the recoil impulse. She's accurate. Plus, it's pretty cool. You know, you get 17 round and then these two 21 rounds with it also. Can't beat that. Don't forget to check out, linked in the description, the original M17 review, the full-size version of this, if you want to check that out. I also have linked the x-vtac I reviewed. Love that thing. I got that out 125 yards accurately on a human-sized target. Was blown away by that one. But I'm pretty impressed with this M18 too. So thanks again to my buddy John for loaning it for the review today. Thanks for watching, guys, and I hope to catch you on the next one.